Hello there, and welcome to this video. Well, today we're going to start with the implementation of vCenter, VMware vCenter that is, to manage like more than one ESXi hosts. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to take quite some time, and the first and most important procedure, so to say, is the Active Directory and DNS, which we're going to set up before actually getting to vCenter itself. So we're gonna promote this VM to a domain controller. I mean, in a sort of enterprise environment, you would be using a physical machine, but as it's just a lab, you're using a VM. It's gonna be my domain controller running Windows Server 2012 R2. I mean, I could run 2016 or 2019, but for RAM saving reasons, I'm running 2012 R2. So first things first, you need to change your network settings, which you can do by clicking here and then open Network Sharing Center. Then you click the Ethernet status and go to properties. Here, you have to make sure to change your IP settings to a static option. So we're gonna go with 192.168.15. 222 like that. It's an easy IP, so it's pretty easy to remember. We're gonna need to remember that. And then subnet gateway and the default gateway, which is right there. And use the following DNS server. Let's leave that blank from now. Let's just go with Google's option. That's going to be changed later on once we promote it to the main controller. Oops. So, there you go. That's better. So we click OK. It's going to update settings. We still have connection seams. Let me just run CMD. Let's just make sure. Yes, we do have connection. That's great. So now we're going to promote this machine to a controller. So first things first, you gotta open Server Manager, you go to Manage, Add Roles and Features, and then you just there's one thing I forgot to do, which I'm gonna do right now. Which is going to PC settings up there. Oh, it doesn't let me, so you can just go to here and we go to remote settings. Let's enable remote access first. It's important to have remote access, and then we go to change settings, and now we change the computer name to the main controller 2 just to make things easier. So we're gonna change it to GC02 because I have a domain controller, but it's not for ESXi. So we click OK and OK again. So you must restart your computer. That's fine. Let's do it later though, because we gotta install Active Directory now. So back to here, you can just proceed and with that. Yeah, that's the server I want to install. So AD domain services, yes, add features, and then we could also DNS is going to be installed automatically, so it doesn't matter much. Alright, it's fine. Let's just click next. Yeah, and now we can install. It's going to depend on your hard drive speed and also CPU and RAM, but it's usually fast. Doesn't take more than 5 minutes to install. And then it's all about restarting, and you're pretty much ready to go. Simple as that. It's impressively quick. Let's see how quick it's gonna be. And then I'm gonna lower the RAM because I only got 16, and we're gonna be working with 2 ESXi hosts and vCenter, which takes 10 gigabytes of RAM. So we gotta keep that in mind as well, because I'm running Synology as a VM as well. It's taking 1 gig, and then, you know, vCenter and so on and so on. It's quite hard, you know, you have that a bunch of stuff going on at once without making your computer just go crazy. So now we just gotta promote it to the main controller, promote the server to the main controller. Now we're gonna add a node forest, which is gonna be root domain name. Let's think, which name should we use? Let's call it VM Lab. Not too bad, I guess. VM Lab. That's a cool name. VM.lab. Or even... Now that's good. VM.lab is a great domain name. So now we click next. So forest functional level, domain functional level. I like to bring it back to 2008 because if we need to run a node Windows Server machine connected to the domain, it would work. So it's very important. Now we need a password for the DSRM, which I'm gonna set right now. Password set. We're good to go. DNS delegation can leave it blank because we don't have a DNS server, so let's just keep it as it is as of right now. We're gonna have a DNS service soon once we restart. BIOS domain name, and yeah, it's so great. So database folder, yeah. I'm just gonna make sure domain. Oh. Name change pending, a reboot's required. So we gotta reboot first. So yeah, I wanna cancel this wizard. We should restart the computer. It's a quick restart though. So it's a matter of when it can last 1 minute. I forgot about that. And there we go, we're back. Simple as that. Doesn't take long at all. And we can go back to promoting it to the main controller. So let's just wait for the server manager to show back up. Here we go. Let's just wait for the loading bar to finish loading. And there you go. As you can see, it's pretty quick. So promote the server to the main controller, and then we're back to the default wizard. So add a node forest, so let's call it VM Lab. VM Lab it is. So let's wait till it loads though. There we go, 2008, and then we type in a password. Alright, we get you go. DNS delegation, skip that. Net BIOS domain name. Alright, it takes a little bit. Yeah, we get you go. Yes. Yes. It's gonna check the prereqs to make sure that our server is ready. It's got like all the needed stuff. Okay, we passed, so we can click on install, and it's gonna restart server once it's done. Doesn't even let you like choose if you want to restart or not, just restarts, which is fair enough, I guess. And then once it restarts, it's already the main controller, so it's halfway done pretty much. Then we gotta set up the DNS stuff and double check, make sure it's working, you know. And once you are certain that it's functioning 100%, you can proceed to deploy vCenter. So it's not really hard at all. It's just takes a little bit. It takes time. It's time consuming. think that's fair enough. It's a fair description. Windows will shut down last a minute. And there you go, it's restarting. And it's a pretty quick restart. Well, maybe not so much. I got greeted by a black screen. Oh. So now it's the waiting moment. I don't quite like waiting. Windows Server 2012 on June. Why does it take so long? I could even take a nap in the meantime. I want to skip the. I want to keep it real time, so you guys can have an idea of how long it actually takes. Because most videos, like, they skip or they speed up those parts, those waiting parts, and then you think, oh, it's just gonna take me 10 minutes, and then when you do that yourself, you're like, oh my god, it's taking like half an hour, it's taking 40 minutes. A video I watched was like 10 minutes long. There's something wrong. Is it my computer? Is it my drive? No, it's just that they usually skip or, you know, fast forward the part, and they don't talk about it, they don't mention it, you know. So you start thinking things like, oh, is it my computer? It's pretty slow or what? You know, it's kind of frightening. So let's send Control Del, and then we are good to go. We're at the main controller already. Simple as that. Doesn't take long, as I mentioned. It doesn't take long at all. Just set up that file and storage services, all server, local server, agree. So we're good to go. DNS shows up its green. So let's minimize that. Let's go to admin tools, DNS. Welcome to DNS. So first things first, I would recommend you to go to reverse lookup zones, new zone, and then primary zone, and then to all DNS servers running main controllers, forest. Next, IPv4 reverse lookup zone, and then network ID. So you're gonna put your IP here. Mine is 192.168.15, and you know, XXXX because it depends on the machine, but that's my network. So if your network's 10.10.10, it has to be 10.10.10 here, and so on. When it choose 168, I don't know, 1 to 3, it has to be put there. So now it's up to you. I mean, I always go with this safe dynamic updates, and boom, there you go. We have a reverse lookup zone configured. Now we gotta create a forward lookup zone for ESXi and vCenter. So now we click here and under the main you wanna add, and you click on add new host. That's the moment. That's the moment we are gonna start doing some fancy stuff. So IP address 192.168.15.10. That's gonna be ESXi1. ESXi1. Maybe 01 like that. Sounds a bit more professional, because then you have like double digits, more hosts. Even though I'm just gonna run like 2 hosts, that's what my RAM can do but you know, and then you create associated pointer record, which is the reverse lookup zone. So ESXi 01.vm.lab, you add host, and it was created. There you go, bingo. And then we can, of course, create a new one, which is going to be ESXi 02, which is going to be 192.168.15.11. And then we add host and we create a pointer. Now we're gonna use VCSA, which is vCenter server appliance, vcsa.vm.lab. It's gonna use 192.168.15.15, like that. Beautiful. 15.15, pretty easy to remember, no mystery there. Add host, so create it. Okay, so now I could also make one for Synology. 192.168.15.129. Bingo. So now we have one for each. Now we gotta test, make sure it works. Ooh, wait a second there. There's no network. Oh yeah, that's due to DNS. So go here, open network sharing center. Properties, IPv4. Okay, so here's the problem. Use the following DNS server. 8888. Okay, now we might have connection with Google's DNS. Or should I invert things? Yeah, maybe we should invert. It's like it's localhost. Yeah, it's not sending or receiving anything. Yeah, it's a matter of 8888 192.168.15. Oh, we do have connection already, but you know, not gonna change much. So we're gonna run CMD. Now we're gonna make sure that DNS is working. So we run an ns lookup VM lab, and as you can see, server unknown. It's localhost VM lab 192.168.15.2. So ns lookup ESXi 01 VM lab. It's going to show unknown 1, which is localhost. So we can change properties 127.0.0.1. That might be the best option. Let's see if this changed something. Still unknown. That's the problem here. Okay. It's gonna be a little harder than I imagined it would be. But as you can see, picks up the IP, which is good. So ns lookup ESXi 02 VM lab. ns lookup vCenter appliance .vm.lab. As you can see, it also picks up. It's showing an unknown there, but I mean, it's picking stuff up. It gets everything right. So now we're gonna set up the VM, the ESXi VM, that is, to point to the correct IP. We gotta set up the IP. We gotta set up the DNS settings under there. So that's what we're gonna do. Let's go back to home. Where is ESXi? I think that's the one. Yeah, it might be the one. Now let me just change the RAM settings because we don't need to be using much RAM. After all, we're just gonna run some networking changes there. It's not like, oh, we need a full-blown setup there for that. So let's make it boot as fast as possible. And make sure to set up accordingly, like all the network bits, just so it works as planned. I'm pretty sure it will though. There's no mystery. Once you promote it to the main controller and set up the IPs, there is no way to go wrong. Literally no way it could go wrong. Which is pretty good. I mean, it's an excellent thing, because it only gets like harder from here. Actually, the whole vCenter setup part is a little, I wouldn't say hard because it's not like hard, but it takes a lot of time and a lot of RAM. It's gonna make your computer cry, your CPU is gonna cry, your PC is gonna cry. It's insane. It's insane, it's demanding, but it's part of the game and you gotta just face it. So one of the things I'm gonna do is a RAM downgrade at some point for the main controller number 2, because 2 gigs of RAM, that ain't gonna work. Not with the limitation we got. So yeah, we're gonna nerf the RAM a little bit so that we can have some extra room for vCenter itself, because my computer is using 8 gigs at idle. So without VMware, without any VMs, it takes 8. So I have 16. I have only 8 gigs free. So you know what it means? Yes. It's a very sad situation there. It's a very, very sad situation for me as far as RAM goes. It goes up to 97%. Quite a RAM stress there. Stress test thingy going on. And that's like just running vCenter, the domain controller, Synology, and 2 hosts running no virtual machines. They're just there at idle without VMs. I mean, they do have VMs in them, but they're not running, and it takes my whole memory. I definitely need some more RAM at some point, but from now on, that's what I can do. You know, it's not like I can just, you know. Alright, so now we're gonna customize system. As you can see, the IP is set already, but network settings are not. DNS settings mostly, because I was testing around with the main controller number 1, which is going to be used for something else. So we got to change that. You go to configure management network, IPv4 configurations is okay. 192.168.15.10 or blah, blah. DNS, that's what we're going to change. So the main DNS server is 192.168.15.222, and alternates okay. Then ESXi 01.vm.lab. There you go, hostname ESXi 01 VMLab. And then you click yes, it's gonna restart the management network. See, hostname ESXi 01, it seems to be correct. So now I go to the main controller itself and we run a ping ESXi 01 VMLab. And we got a reply, which means it works. It's alive. It sent 4 packages, it received 4 packages, 0% loss. So now I can open Google Chrome if it wants to open, because Google Chrome's moody. There you go. So welcome to Google Chrome. We're gonna type HTTPS. FOSS-hub, no, I don't want that. ESXi 01. Oops, ESXi 01 VMLab. It's gonna load, you click on advanced and you proceed. Unsafe, I know it's unsafe, I don't care. Root, and then you type in your password. And that's it. You have your first one set. Your first ESXi host is finally there. It's set. It's the same procedure for the second one. You just gotta change the IP to the one you decided here on DNS. So ESXi 192.168.15.11. So you just go there, you check the IP you set for it, and then you change accordingly, and you add ESXi VMLab as your host name, and there you go. It works. Straight out of box, simple as that. There's no mystery. So step 1 of this vCenter appliance dreams finally done. We got it figured out. We set up the domain controller. We made sure that it works. We double checked. So it's fully functional. You can even ns lookup ESXi 01 VMLab. You can see the IP there, it's pointing to the correct IP, and even if you type on the browser ESXi.vmlab, it reads the domain and loads the interface, so everything's fine. As you can see, we can try with Synology as well. Synology VMlab. Oops, HTTP, forgot about it. Synology VMlab, and it loads as well, which is my Synology. So wonderful, it all works. No mystery there. We can shut this down. No point keeping it on from now. And then on the next video, I'll teach you guys how to launch the appliance, how to get the OVF file and make it work. It's pretty simple. There's like no mystery at all on that. But that's for next video. Today we're just gonna stick to the usual, to the pre-usual stuff. So yeah, I hope that helped. That's the first part. I hope you guys enjoyed it. So we went through the process of setting up a domain controller, all the things you gotta do to set that up accordingly, and how to configure the network on ESXi, and how to make it ping and work 100%. So that's the first part for you. Stay tuned for the second part, where we're gonna launch vCenter and hope it doesn't crash, because I don't know if my RAM's enough for recording and launching it. Most likely not, but we gotta do it anyway, you know, for the memes. And I really hope it works. And then I'm gonna teach you guys how to set up storage and other things you need to have your full-blown enterprise environment for virtualization. So make sure to stay tuned and take care. Adios.